Across California, many people would love to see a place to store all of this water, right? Well, in fact, years ago, California voters approved funding for a new reservoir. Well, that project is finally underway. The Sites Reservoir will be just north of the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. Our Wilson Walker is giving us a closer look at the developments there. Wilson?
Yeah, it's something we hear a lot when we have a year like this one and last year, right? 2 good years in a row. So where are we going to put all that water? Well, right here. This has been something that has been working or in the works for a very long time. A lot of people want to know why this hasn't happened faster. Well, as we all know, California can be pretty deliberate about projects this size. And in this case, maybe that is a good thing, right? There are places across California where we put dams and reservoirs where we're currently trying to undo some of the impact there. So this is worth thinking through. And the man who is in charge of making it happen, he says, yes, they're very close to getting started.
Nothing has been built like this in California for more than 30 years.
It has been nearly 70 years since California took a look at the Sites Valley and saw the potential for a reservoir that could have been as large as Shasta. The plan now is for something not quite that big, but still truly massive.
The peak that we see to the north is not even the northernmost location of the reservoir under I-5.
Sites Authority Director Jerry Brown says the long, slow push to create this new water storage is moving ahead, and the payoffs, he says, will be as large as the new lake itself. It will not dam a river, which is good for the fish. Instead, the water will be pumped up out of the valley.
We're basically bringing water in off of the river during high flow periods and storing it here in this valley and then releasing it back out to be used or flow back into the river during dry periods.
The natural bowl of limestone creating this valley does most of the work. Only 2 relatively small dams are required.
This gives you a nice angle on the scale of the dam. It's a large dam, but it's not huge.
And of all the 180 miles of conveyance required to move the water to the reservoir and back out, only 15 miles of it have to be new. So when everything is built and the water is turned on,
the Sites Reservoir will be the 8th largest surface water storage reservoir in the state of California.
So what happens to what's here? Well, the community of Sites and the valley, where some members of the Sites family still live, this would all be submerged.
At this location, we'd be underwater about 300 feet.
Now, the authority is negotiating with landowners, and most are said to be on board with the project, but many are reluctant to talk as the discussion now has dragged on for generations.
60 years, and it's never happened, so you can imagine the fatigue that you might feel with people telling you got to move and then no, you don't. But I think they're getting to the place, and they're older, where they understand the importance of this to the community.
And the state, with a big push from the governor, is trying to get things moving. A project design has been submitted. Now the water right must be obtained. That is a big step, but it is expected to be cleared in the next year.
And we'll start 2026. We figure it's about a 6-year construction period, so about the end of 2032.
All right, let's talk about $4.5 billion to make that happen. You get about $1 billion government, $1 billion. So you need about $1 billion from local interest. Well, it's a lot of people down in Southern California, right? They want this water too, or at least they want this bank of water. When things get dry and you tap into this, theoretical lake I would be standing in. So I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, after we go through another 4 dry years, Liz, and then we have another wet year, and then 4 more dry years, maybe we get through a couple more cycles of drought and then rain years, we'll get to stand here and talk about filling up the Sites Reservoir.
Yeah, you just want to save every drop, because living in California, even on rainy years, you're still talking about the concern for drought. All right, Wilson, thanks so much.